This building was purchased by the state for a purchase price of $81 million. There's still $77 million left to pay off on the bonds used to finance this building. But over the years that we've had employees here working in the building on behalf of now the Board of Equalization, we've already spent, the state of California taxpayers have spent $60 million in efforts to repair the defects of this building, which have included pipe that has rotted, elevators that don't work, a litany of deficiencies and deficits in this building. We thought that it was only going to cost perhaps another $30 million to make repairs to this building so that it would continue to be at least marginally habitable. But now, with new information based on estimates prepared by the Board of Equalization, we know that $30 million figure, which we have suspected was too low to begin with, is in fact far less than what will be required to make additional repairs to this building. We're looking at least $150 million at the upper end and another $60 million at the low end. What this means is that by the time we would be finished doing work on this building without any real assurance that all the repairs would make the building habitable, we could have bought this building 3 times over. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but where I come from, that would not be considered a great deal. And it certainly is a slap in the face to taxpayers who would be forced to bear that cost. But beyond that, we also have an environment which is unsafe and unhealthy for the employees here. We know that, for example, 24 employees alone have required reassignment from this building as a result of health effects that has led to claims against the state for compensation. We know that we have spent approximately $2.3 million on workers' comp claims for employees in this building. We know because anyone, and I suspect many of the employees behind me have their own stories, because anyone who knows someone who works in this building has heard a story of something that has happened. Just a few weeks ago, an acquaintance of mine told me about an employee of this building who was here working extra on a Saturday who got stuck in the elevator for 2.5 hours. Now, if that was the exception, one might say, okay, that happens unfortunately to people. But the problem is that's the rule, not the exception. So it's time, indeed it is long past time, for the state of California to dump this disaster, to say that we're not going to spend any more good money after bad, to take care of our employees and give them a safe and healthy environment and move out of this building. That's why I've introduced AB 1656, which is currently pending in the Assembly Appropriations Committee, that would continue the process that we began 3 years ago to help us move out of this building, to take the next steps, because we know there are many in the private sector who are willing and interested to help us save our money and help us help these employees. We know that there's interest in the marketplace. We need to do the work necessary to take advantage of that interest, and that's exactly what my bill does. We've also asked the state auditor to conduct an audit to further verify what we all know about the conditions and circumstances of this building, the costs that I've been talking about that would be necessary for further repairs, and the opportunities that are available if we take a different course and get our employees out of this building. Yesterday, one of the Assembly Budget Subcommittees took action as well to add into the Assembly's version of the budget a request that will allow the Board of Equalization and the Department of General Services to take the next necessary steps in getting people and the state of California out of this building. These are all things that we need to do, especially underscored by this new information about the additional costs that are anticipated to address the deficiencies in this building. Not only are we looking at an additional $60 to $150 million to be spent on this building, but the disruption and loss of productivity will be enormous as the employees have to be moved from one place to another in the building, in and out of the building. And I'm sure any of these employees can tell you what kind of impact that will have on their ability to do their work. And they are the people who bring in the money for the state of California to conduct its operations. So we're here because we're overdue. We're overdue to take the steps to get out of this building, and that's what we want to make sure that my colleagues in the legislature and in the administration understand, and that's why we think that it's so important to emphasize the work that we're doing here today.